It's September 23rd, 2014, and I call this special meeting of the Brattleboro Selectboard to order. We were scheduled tonight to make an announcement about a new town manager. Unfortunately, 2 hours ago, the town manager candidate called us up and said that he wasn't going to be coming to Brattleboro. So we've already begun our process of going back through the applications we had received at the end of August and contacting those candidates in order to determine whether they remain interested in the position. And we will be beginning our interview process probably within the next 10 days. And other than that, I don't really have anything else to announce today. Anybody from the board?
Just thank you all for coming to
Yes.
show your support for the new candidate.
It was my intention at the beginning of this meeting to thank everybody who's been involved. And I was going to start by thanking Jan because she's just been integral in the process of our search. And I was going to continue by thanking everybody who's been involved. And I will just continue to thank everybody for participating going forward. Any questions? Howard?
How much can you tell us, was a contract offered to this person, or were you?
The open meeting law provides that the board can only act to make an offer in public session. So I couldn't formally bind the town in negotiations with a candidate, but we were involved in extensive good faith negotiations with a candidate who we knew from prior rounds of interviews. And we had a final contract that had been worked over extensively that I understood all board members in executive session had had a chance to review, that was going to be presented here in open session. I expected the candidate to be here, and like I say, 2 hours ago at 4 o'clock, he changed his mind. We acted in good faith, and he backed out.
And can you tell us who else negotiated with yourself? Who else was sitting in on those talks?
There was nobody else negotiating. I mean, I had legal advice from the town attorney, and various members of the select board reviewed in executive session drafts of the contract and the final draft of the contract. But the board together had made a decision to work with this candidate in executive session, and ultimately he decided not to come. You?
Thank you so much. My name's Hugh, and what was attractive? You're not going to give anything that's confidential away. I'm very clear about that, and that's of course appropriate, and total respect for that. What were the qualities that had you make this offer to that candidate who's no longer in the running?
He was alive.
That's not fair to say.
No, he had
That's
a
not
lot
fair
of
to say.
experience as town manager in a similar sized town, was very familiar with the state and with the legislature, and was experienced and with a great track record.
I agree with that.
He did fit. Just from the small interactions that we had with him and knowing the background that he had, it just seemed like it was going to be a good complement to Brattleboro.
What had the candidate reject us, then you, whatever it was?
My understanding is that he didn't want to leave the town he was living in. I love living in Brattleboro. I think it's a great place.
Believe me.
I would move here in a heartbeat. I did twice. Any other questions? Howard?
And I just want you to clarify, so you're not going to reopen it, you're going to look at the applications that came in during the last round?
In terms of process going forward, we received, I don't remember, somewhere between 40 and 50 applications at the end of August. We met and reviewed all those applications, and we prioritized among them with the goal of selecting a pool of between 6 and 10, I believe, who we would interview. I think we had a first tier and a second tier, and we set that to the side because there was a candidate who we were prepared to enter into negotiations with directly. And like I say, we've already begun the process. I've already begun the process of having the Vermont League of Cities and Towns reach out to all of those people who are on our interview list to determine whether they continue to be interested. And I anticipate that we will be having interviews, if everything works out, sometime in the next 10 days to 2 weeks, I would hope. Any other questions? We're ready for a motion to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed or abstaining? That carries 5-0. Thank you all.